بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. If we look at today's system, especially in non-Muslim countries, and it's coming to the Muslim countries as well, we find that actually the system is conducive and encouraging the breaking of the family. A lot of times in the name of abuse, and that women get abused, and now we've seen there's a lot of issues with marches and female rights and whatnot. And we're not denying that there's a need to revisit some of the laws, some of the atrocities that have been committed against women and so on by bad men, men who are not practicing Islam, men who are disbelievers and other things. And obviously men who are product of a system that is not Islamic. But what we're talking about is a system that is conducive for the family to break apart. So again, a lot of people, when we talk about the issues of feminism and the rights of women and what's happening in the world, and is this really a march or a request for female rights? Is there a need for female rights? Well, if you ask me about non-Muslim countries, then yeah, of course, no doubt, in non-Muslim countries, because they're not given rights from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they're given human rights. And with all this fiasco and this huge exposure that we want to give women and empower them, in the end they're not being it. Nothing is happening. In the end, nothing is changing. Show me what has changed. Oh yeah, but now more women are going to work and but more women are also regretting doing that. And then they realize that, wait a second, I mean, it's not the best thing. And then women have done their career, and then someone saying, oh, I should have got married, I should have gotten children. So there's a confusion, a difference of opinion. There's a split within these societies. But what I want to talk to you about today is the system. The system encourages women to break away from their family. So a wife is considered brave if she runs away from her husband. And based on my experience, a lot of the times, it's not a problem that cannot be solved. But it seems that the default or the first option is, hey, just go. Just leave him. Just divorce. Counselors are saying now this, and clients are complaining that even Muslim counselors who are trained in secular counseling are saying to them, part of the first few steps, just leave him. Why are you wasting your time? He's a loser. And then after 5 years, the woman comes back to more counseling. She says, my God, what a bad idea and bad advice I received, and I regret it now. I should have stood around. I should have solved the problem. I'm not saying just stay around and endure the beatings or the atrocities or the dhulm. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is the disposition, the disposition, the willingness to try to solve problems. I'm not saying to take punches in the face. I've been very vocal about this whole issue of dhulm, which is not allowed in Islam. As for discipline and keeping in line with the Islamic directives, that's a different story. I'm talking about the Western concept of female abuse that the Westerners are champions at, in boxing their women out. That's a whole different story, right? There's a lot we can talk about this. But what I'm talking about is the system. You want to leave your husband? Don't worry, we'll give you an apartment. We'll give you support. It's like almost the non-Muslims can't wait for a Muslim family to break apart. And this whole white savior complex that we're there to save you, we'll encourage you, leave. But you see what's happening is now you have daughters also, females, who are using the same system to leave their families. So now a daughter will be like, I'm 18. I don't need to be with you. So now she's not running away from a male, actually, as it's made to seem that it's always a woman running away from a male. It's always a woman running away from an oppressive guy. Yes, maybe that is the case in some situations. But here, you have a female reaching now the age of 17, 18, 16, and saying to her mother, her single mother, female, who raised her for years, sacrificed. And just because she demands respect, now she says, oh, I feel pressured. What is this? She doesn't have ownership over me. I'm my own person. The same type of infectious philosophy is affecting now a woman to move away from another woman. I thought it's an issue of female and male, an issue of oppression from one to the other. No, the system is being now ridden by young girls who are now encouraged. And that's what happened in one of the cases. The girl is encouraged by the counselors and the social workers, just leave. You're an adult now. You're a free person. Everyone is free today. And don't worry, we'll give you an apartment and we'll give you stipends and financial aid, and you can just be your person. After 2 years, the same type of girl would be falling into the claws of some abuser or some evil man or even woman, as it is right now, women also. Or she'll be maybe into drugs, she left education, she thought that she has it all, maybe gets pregnant and now regrets it. Or what else happens? I mean, the system is sometimes counterproductive. They think it's just black and white. They think it's just, yeah, we're here to help you. You want to move out, you're a woman, go ahead, because we encourage this independence. We encourage you to take your rights into your own hands. Leave your parents, divorce your parents. There's such a thing as divorcing your parents, legally. So now you don't have the whole, a woman is running away from a man because he's abusive. And again, we're not denying the fact that there are these cases. I'm always trying to be as fair as possible, not because I'm scared or, I need to be politically correct. No, I'm thinking for those who are watching me, they know that's not my way. It's because, yes, I deal with these issues and it happens. These are realities. Yes, there are men who abuse women. And as I said, there's a difference between a man to discipline his wife, his family, and so on, and abuse, which is dhulm. There's a big, big difference and a fine line between the two. All right? So in Islam, it's very clear. As the man is the leader of the house, he's responsible for the behavior of his family, of his wife, including his children, and all that. A good man who fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes the right steps in disciplining his family. People have mixed it with this non-Muslim concept of abuse and breaking teeth and breaking bones that they champion. They really champion it because their culture is all about boxing and beating and this and that. Not that I have a problem with boxing, I box. And I use it for a skill to protect, for defense, but they use it for entertainment. Okay, they talk about being champions of peace, yet they use violence for entertainment. Whatever, the bigger the violence is, women fighting each other, men fighting each other. And this doesn't go against me that I've recognized Khabib, for example. Sometimes I was highlighting certain things and I made very clear disclaimers that we don't condone his behavior. And he himself knows that it's not right. What I'm trying to make the point here is that this is a culture that encourages violence and makes huge money. It's a big economy. Violence, being violent contact sports, you name it. Is the same one that's championing human rights and stopping aggression against women. On one side, you are encouraging, and on the other side, you are fighting it. Because that's the double standard of democracy and democratical systems. But again, when a female runs away from her family, be it she runs away from her husband, be it due to bad advice, bad counseling, and again, I'm not saying that sometimes a person does not have to remove. Even during the time of Prophet ﷺ, there was issues between husband and wife and abuse where the Prophet split or helped people go their way. Okay, as Zubair, for example, and Asma and others. Okay, we know this. What I'm talking about here is though people just jumping in right away, divorce, run away, go away, don't worry, we have an apartment for you, we have money for you, we'll do this, we'll do that. Many times these cases end up disastrous. The woman thinks that, I have my freedom now. Escape, I can do whatever I want. And actually, no, that's not the case. She falls as prey either to a woman many times. A lot of women get abused in these women's shelters by women, or to another man, no doubt. All right. So, subhanAllah, it's a double standard. But here we see some of these girls now, some of these females, they're trying to run away from their mothers, single mothers who maybe suffer trauma, who have been single or they've been widowed. And they raise them themselves. And that's the reward that they get. Oh, my mom is too harsh with me. Oh, I need to take my own life, make my own self. I'm 18. I can do whatever. Yeah, I need the apartment. I need the money. I just need to leave my mom. I'm going to the counselor. Oh, I'm feeling stressed. I have anxiety. I have anxiety. My mom is too harsh with me. She wants me to wear hijab. She wants, oh, and right away the non-Muslim counselor, oh, she's forcing you to wear hijab. This is oppression. Of course you can leave. Don't worry. Here, let me fill out the papers for you. And the money is ready very fast. And we can get you an apartment. And. So it's not about like women running away from males now. It's like women running away from other women, from their mothers, from people who have spent their life dedicating, raising them, changing their diapers, wiping their bums. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So what is up with this? What kind of system is this? What kind of counseling do we give? Even for the Muslims, they should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those who are coming from a secular counselor background and just jumping and just riding the wave and the system of a non-Muslim system. Be careful. You are responsible first and foremost in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before you're responsible for the person who signs your paycheck. Be very careful with the advice that you get. You don't see Quran and Sunnah through psychology. You see psychology through Quran and Sunnah. This is a big, big amana or trust if you don't understand what amana means. And you are professionally bound to Allah first and foremost before you are bound to the company that signs your check or the grants that you're getting from the government. And in the end, if we are honest and sincere about the work that we want to solve problems, then let us solve problems, not create more problems. Just because you think you solved it on the spot, you need to look long term. You need to have some farsight and some insight into the problem before you just give these rulings. And subhanAllah, as soon as a woman runs away, it's called empowerment. And if a man leaves a woman or runs away, it's called abandonment. The double standards are clear. I know that there's a lot of finer details that we have to analyze. It's not so simplistic. I cannot go into so much details in these videos, but I try to highlight the problem. I know that there's a lot of women that get abused by men, but there's also a lot of men that get abused by women. And what I'm trying to say is that now people are actually using the system and breaking families apart. And women are not just running away from men. I'm going to repeat it 10 times. They're now running away from women because the system is making it easy, even though it's masquerading it under the guise, the disguise that, oh yeah, it's about women being protected from abusive men. No, it's about breaking families. And again, I hate the amount of disclaimers I have to give, but people are so fast in jumping in conclusions and just pointing fingers and not listening to what I'm saying. There are a lot of problems, no doubt, within our communities. There's a lot of issues that we have to solve, no doubt. No one is putting that some women suffer, and no one should put down or deny that some men are suffering. But destroying families without having the intention, at least, to even try to rectify the problems, to understand the problems, just prematurely jumping to conclusions and encouraging people to just leave, calling a woman who leaves empowered and taking matters into her own hands, and a man who leaves as someone who's abandoning, who doesn't want to take responsibility, who's not a real man because he cannot handle it, he's just running away, run away, whatever. I would say it's a big double standard. The issue is complicated, no doubt. I wanted to raise some awareness about this. And the concept of using the law against men, women, whatever it is. We call it, I was discussing with one brother yesterday, it's like Islamic nikah, Islamic marriage, but Western divorce. Meaning, for the nikah, a lot of times it suits one of the parties to make it Islamic. For the woman, for example, you have to provide for me. I'm the woman, you're the man, Islam. And when things don't work out, the marriage breaks. We have to do it the law way, the non-Muslim way, because we're living, by the way, in a non-Muslim country, right? So in that time, she will use the law because, of course, it's going to favor her a lot of times. But when it comes to maybe things in their interest, be a man or woman, they're going to say, nikah should be Islamic. So It's a problem, it's a huge problem. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to understand this, that we need to address. But I guess we need to be careful as community counselors, wherever you are, advise people to fix their problem before just running away from them and leaving. Of course, if there's abuse and this and that, have to be deal with them, but don't jump to, just prematurely give your ruling just like that, because the system, gives you the budget to facilitate destroying a family. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. Ameen. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.